Everyone, welcome to the rewrite of episode 1 and soon to be the episode 2 of What If Goku Was Born as a Super Saiyan 4. Alright, now what's going to be the differences? It's very simple. The differences is going to be like the multiplier. I originally said a 400,000 times multiplier, and some people heard me say 400 and then multiplier. So I'm deciding to, fix it up to be more accurate and simply make you guys happy as I can. So the form is a 4,000 times multiplier, which means at his date of birth, with his power level of 2 at birth, it would actually be 8,000 because of the multiplier. So, after he was, after his power level was red, King Vegeta was not happy. Another baby from a low-class Saiyan bloodline managed to have a power level near his son's, if not that, at his son's level of power, obviously. So the story's going to go different because other than the power level of 800,000, as it originally was, it's 8,000. He thought maybe to keep this baby to train with his son. But then he realized he doesn't know how strong this person's son can actually grow in power. So he simply decides to get rid of the Super Saiyan 4 baby Goku by sending him to Vampa as well. Bardock hears that his son was sent off-world after he arrived back, and he was already too late to go find him, or at least chase down his pod, as it already landed and is in no longer working condition. But he decides to take a ship and search the nearby planets. If not that, nearby galaxies to find his son. But that's going to take him a while. And Pericus' scouter reads that there's a power level of 8,000. He is quite surprised. And I guess it's not necessarily a scouter. I guess I got that wrong. But it definitely was something. It wasn't a scouter, sorry. But it could sense a power level of 8,000, similar to his son's power level of 10,000. He tells Broly to go get it, because currently there's a storm going on. Broly goes to look and sees a pod that was similar to his whenever he arrived. Broly was completely confused. So, he decides to travel over to it and open it up. And what he found was a Saiyan baby with a lot of hair, fur, red tail, and the usual Saiyan armor. Broly had no idea what to do, so he simply picked up the Saiyan, which was younger than him, and traveled all the way back to Pericus. Pericus realized that this was another baby, most likely sent here to King, well, to Vampa from King Vegeta, out of jealousy judged by the high power level. That arrogant bastard. Broly, I want you to make sure that this one survives. He'll be a lot of help whenever we kill King Vegeta and his bloodline one day. Broly nods in response, as he doesn't talk much. Then after that, whenever Goku, or in this case, his new name, picked by Paragus, there's going to be a reading of his pod, which was Kakarot. So Kakarot and Broly trained for as long as they could. The two grew close in power. Broly's base power level is now that of 15,000. However, Goku, or in this case Kakarot's, power level would be 10 if he was in base form. But because of the 4,000 times multiplier, it's 40,000. Paragus is impressed. Kakarot is growing a lot faster. But he could already tell Broly needed to catch up. And he was thinking of joining the training. However, before he did, Broly's power spiked to 10 times of what it was. He looked up and saw that there was a big moon. He saw that Broly had turned into a great ape and was attacking Kakarot. Broly's power level, if you give it a 10 times multiplier, because that's the great ape's multiplier, you would have a Broly, you have a great ape Broly with a power level of 150,000. Kakarot, with his power level of 40,000, had to keep fighting with what he had. But Paragus told Kakarot to hide in the cave, or otherwise he could get killed. Kakarot decides to listen and dashes for the cave. Broly, on the other hand, continued outside raging until the day was done. Broly was back to normal and had his tail removed immediately. However, Paragus noticed something that didn't happen to Kakarot. Kakarot was looking up at Broly with the moon behind him. In fact, he could see Kakarot glancing at the moon sometimes, but he doesn't transform. What Paragus doesn't know is that Paragus and Broly doesn't know that Super Saiyan 4 is a smaller incarnation of the Great Ape. And you can't become the same thing twice. So Kakarot, no matter how long he stares at any moon of any size, will remain a Super Saiyan 4. The years go by, and now we're in the Saiyan Saga, where Raditz should arrive on Earth. However, that wouldn't happen, right? Of course not. He arrives on Vampa, which you can already see is a desolate wasteland. Vegeta, before Raditz went, realized that this could be dangerous and that they need all the saiyans that they can get to fight Lord Frieza. So, he decides to send Nappa with Raditz. However, something wasn't right whenever they arrived. Two ginormous similar power levels had erupted their scouters. Not destroyed them, it wasn't that powerful enough, but their scouters undoubtedly almost short-circuited until they were turned off. Nap remembers the way that the scouters were pointing them, and he flies that way, with Raditz right behind him. Whenever they got there, they saw that there was actually three, but one's power level wasn't strong enough to be sensed. If you're wondering, how is Broly's power level similar? Well, let's go ahead and admit this. Over the time that Kakarot and Broly were training, Broly's body started to adapt more of that trick of where the more he fights, the stronger he gets. So, their power levels remain the same. Broly's power level in base form was almost the same as Kakarot's. Raditz was surprised to see that his brother had survived with two other Saiyans, which means that there's not just 4 Saiyans left in this universe. Him, Nappa, Kakarot, and Vegeta. There was 6. Broly and Paragus was the extra 2. Raditz said, "You were sent here many years ago and you survived with their help? And got this strong?" Goku, or Kakarot, was confused. He had no idea who that was and said, "Who are you?" So, Raditz introduces himself to his brother. "I'm your brother, Raditz. This is Nappa. We came here because of Prince Vegeta wanting us to find new Saiyans to kill Lord Frieza." Raditz had no idea that he just said Paragus' trigger word. "Prince Vegeta? You mean the son of King Vegeta? Those arrogant bastards. That bloodline deserves to be stopped where it is." Nappa didn't like this tone. After all, he is the one that basically raised Vegeta after the destruction of Planet Vegeta. He says this, "Hey, you better not bring the prince into this. He had nothing to do with what happened to you. He was an infant most likely around that time. So, you better respect that we even found you. After all, maybe our scatters were just short-circuiting and were malfunctioning or something. And your pad levels aren't near the 100,000s. Broly explains that my father and him and Kakarot have some bad blood with King Vegeta. Paragus went there because he had to save his son, the ship wouldn't work, and they had to survive with what they had. Kakarot was simply sent there because of his high power level without his father even knowing. If you're wondering what happened to Bardock, You'll have to find out soon. Mainly because I didn't think of it yet. Anyways, Broly realizes that he undoubtedly is being threatened for survival. After all, their power levels are not higher, but he never met the actual bloodline, so he has no idea how strong they could be. But little did he know that his power level at that time could completely stomp Vegeta. Now, if you're wondering what is his power level, as I said, it's very similar but a bit lower than Kakarot's or Goku's. And Goku's power level at this time is 5,000. Hold on a second here. I'm gonna go ahead and get out what we need for you guys to know. Alright, so, bam, 20 million. Able to take on final form Frieza. So, that means that Broly's, let's go ahead and say, is 15 million. Meaning that Broly and Goku can work together to defeat Frieza, but they'll need a bit more training to take on him in his final form. After everything was calmed down, Paragus finally accepts that Prince Vegeta had nothing to do with the death, well, with his exile and Broly's exile. And with King Vegeta dead, he would have no one else to be enraged with. It is soon explained by Paragus that he finally accepts that it's not Prince Vegeta's fault. And whenever they all arrived back, Prince Vegeta's scouter went haywire. Two huge power levels, 20 million and 15 million. And some other big power levels that he could already tell is Nappa and Raditz. He is terrified. After realizing that it was Broly and Kakarot, he said, "How did you clowns get this strong?" Then he said in his mind, "Could they be the legendary Super Saiyan? At least one of them could be the red-furred one. Or, hell, it could even be the big brute next to him. It doesn't matter, though. I just gotta be careful. Especially around either of them. Who knows? Maybe Frieza was hiding these buffoons until we needed them. Either way, gotta treat them like friends, but don't show them respect." And that's where things are going to be left off. Now, episode 2 of this rewrite will be very similar. Goku and Frieza will fight. But I will be changing up how Frieza responds to the high power levels. Now, if you're wondering, what do I mean by response to the huge power levels? It's simple. I'm making it right where Frieza, if you watch part 2 to the point where Goku and Frieza fight, the same thing doesn't happen. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this. I honestly kind of like this rewrite because I want to make you guys happy. My inaccuracies did not make some of you happy, and I wanted to make you guys happy by doing this. Now, anyways, Bye, everyone, and if you want to see a part 2, go ahead and tell me. Because I'm willing to keep this series going if it's going to be a rewrite. Now, if you're wondering, is this rewrite going to be called Goku versus Vegeta? No, sorry. What if Goku was born as a Super Saiyan 4? Rewrite? Yes. It will be called Goku. What if Goku was born as a Super Saiyan 4? Rewrite in parentheses. Mainly, rewrite will be in parentheses after what if Goku was born as a Super Saiyan 4. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Bye. And see you in the next one. Zach is out.